All right, so if you're running an event and people are seeing it, but you're not selling tickets, this video is for you because most events don't actually have a traffic problem. They have a conversion problem. People are clicking, they're checking out the page, they're thinking about the event. They just don't feel confident enough to pull the trigger. And the good news is you do not need more ads or more views to fix it. You just need to remove friction and make the value obvious. And that's what we're going to break down today in this video. So before we talk about tools, pages, or pixels, you need to understand this part. Buying a ticket is a risk. It's not just the money, it's time, it's energy, it's is this actually worth it? It's will I regret this later? So when someone doesn't buy a ticket, it's usually not because they're cheap. It's because something still feels unclear. And your job is to hype these people up. Your job is to reduce uncertainty. So high conversions happen when the outcome is clear, the experience feels safe, and the decision feels easy. Once you get that, everything else clicks. So before I go deeper into this, let me quickly give you some context on who I am and why I even care about this stuff. I spent most of my time helping artists, creators, and event brands grow through paid ads, funnels, and content systems. That includes running meta ads, Google, TikTok, YouTube ads, optimizing ticket pages and conversion flows, and fixing tracking so people actually see what's working. And I've helped work on music events, conferences, live experiences, and digital products, digital launches, virtual events, you name it. And a big part of my job is figuring out why people don't convert and then fix that. So when I talk about conversion rate in this video, this isn't theory. This is stuff that actually works. I've tested it, I've broken it, I've improved it with real budgets on real events. And just to be clear, I'm not here to sell you on any sort of growth hype. My whole thing is building systems that make sense, scale, and don't rely on luck. And if at any point you want my help with email marketing, ticket conversion, paid ads, or tracking setup, you can find everything below in the description. So let's talk about the real reasons people don't convert. So reason number one, they don't know what they're walking away with. If your page says things like great speakers, networking, panels, or discussions, people don't buy vague, they buy clarity. Reason number two, your page makes them think too much. For example, long paragraphs, too many sections, no visual hierarchy. If someone has to work to understand your event, they won't. Confused people don't buy. So reason number three is there's no reassurance. For example, they're asking themselves, is anyone else actually going to this? Is this legit? Am I the only one considering this? The solution, use social proof. No social proof equals hesitation. Reason number four, there's no reason for them to buy now. They tell themselves, I'll decide later. Later usually means never. So make sure you are strategically using urgency across your marketing. For example, real urgency, not fake generic ones like 2 tickets left. That type of messaging is way overused and is unbelievable. Now that you know the 4 reasons that people don't buy, I want to share with you my conversion framework. It's the same framework I use to increase ticket sales and increase conversions across many events. We'll go step by step and then I'll show you the tools that you can use to improve on this stuff. So if you're wondering what I actually use to increase conversions, that comes later on in this video. So pillar 1, outcome first messaging. Your headline should answer one question instantly. What do I gain by attending this event? Not what happens at the event, not who's speaking, but what do I get from going? For example, instead of saying music marketing conference, you can say something like leave with industry connections and a clear plan for your next release. That alone can double conversions. Also be very clear on who this is for, and just as important, who this is not for. Believe it or not, that actually increases trust. So make sure your headlines answer one question clearly. What do I walk away with if I attend this event. So pillar number 2 is social proof. And this is where decisions are made. Here's a big mistake that I see all the time. People put all their social proof on Instagram, but the decisions happen on the ticket page. Social proof should live near the price, near the buy button, near the checkout, near all the places where people may need that little push to make that decision. And this can include testimonials, past attendee clips, logos from past clients or sponsors, even a photo gallery of your last sold out event. These instill confidence, and confidence convert. So if your social proof isn't near the buy button or sprinkled across the entire funnel, it's not doing its job. Now, pillar 3 is to reduce friction at checkout. Every extra step is a chance to lose someone. Recently, I worked with a client that had a very high resistant checkout process. It asks purchasers many questions and also required them to sign up before payment. As you can imagine, there was a super high bounce rate and abandoned cart percentage. Your checkout should be fast, should be mobile friendly, should be super clear. And there should not be any surprise fees. There should be no unnecessary fields. You should also have payment options. For example, include Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, payment plans. All these reduce friction. People don't abandon because they changed their minds. They abandon because it got really annoying. So make the buying process feel super easy, fast, and obvious. Pillar 4, price framing and anchoring. All right, let's talk about price, because this is where a lot of people get it all wrong. Most event pages just list a ticket price and hope people decide it's worth it. That's a mistake, because price on its own doesn't mean anything. People don't know if your ticket is expensive until you tell them what to compare it to. So when someone sees your ticket price, their brain immediately asks, compared to what? If you don't have an answer to that question or give them an answer to that, they'll answer it themselves. And it's usually not in your favor. It's rarely that the ticket is actually too expensive. It's usually because the value feels abstract, the outcome feels unclear, or the comparison is missing. For example, a $200 ticket with no context feels expensive, but the same ticket framed as one free consultant, one missed opportunity, 1 month of free trial or error, speed to your desired outcome, tons of connections, and now suddenly the fee feels reasonable. Nothing changed except the context. How to frame price properly. You want to anchor the price against something your audience already understands. That could be a coaching call, a course, travel or networking costs, or the cost of staying stuck. You're not manipulating people. You're helping them evaluate correctly. And here's a practical example. Instead of just saying tickets are $200, you might say, this is less than what most people charge for 1 hour of consultation. And you get a full day access, connections, and proven processes. And now the ticket price makes sense. And here's a very important rule. Never let the ticket price be the first thing people see. Make sure they understand who it's for, what they'll walk away from, and why it matters before they see the price. So don't let people guess if it's expensive. Give them context. All right, cool. So pillar number 5 is real urgency. Now let's talk about urgency, because this is where trust is either built or destroyed. Urgency only works when it's real. Fake urgency doesn't just not work, it actually hurt conversions. People are smarter than you give them credit for. They can smell fake countdowns from a mile away. So here's why urgency matters. Even people who are interested delay. They think, I'll decide later, I'll check again tomorrow, I'll come back to this. Later usually means never. Urgency gives people a reason to decide now instead of putting it off to later. Now there's a huge difference between fake urgency and real urgency. Fake urgency sounds like this. Only 2 tickets left. Last chance to get your ticket this week. That creates skepticism. Real urgency comes from real constraints. Things like limited room capacity, tiered pricing, early bird deadlines, cutoff dates for logistics, etc. When people understand why there's a deadline, they respect it. So here's a quick tip on how to explain urgency. Urgency should feel logical, not pushy. For example, we're keeping this event intentionally small so people can actually connect. Once the room is full, that's it. Or prices go up on Friday because we want to reward early supporters. That's honest, that's reasonable, and that kind of stuff converts. So where should you actually put urgency in your funnel or on your site? It should really be near your pricing, near your checkout, and reinforced in your retargeting. It should be mentioned in your emails close to the deadline date, but it only works after value is created, social proof is present, and friction is low. So urgency should explain why now, not pressure people. This is why urgency helps decisive people decide, and fake urgency pushes people away. Cool, so now I want to show you guys some of the tools for increasing CRO. And if you don't know, CRO is conversion rate optimization. So basically, how can we use data to optimize and increase sales? And this is where the winners win and the losers lose. Basically, this is how you use data to optimize your ticket sale experience. And I'm going to share some tools with you that will help you with this. Now, the first tool I'm going to share with you is Hotjar. Hotjar shows you what people are actually doing, where they stop scrolling, where they hesitate, where they click expecting something to happen. If people aren't buying, Hotjar shows you where the confusion is. So two of my favorite features when using Hotjar is heat maps and session recording. Heat map shows you how much time people are spending in which section of the page, and it's indicated by different color intensities. And there's also a feature that shows you where people click, so you can see exactly where someone's clicking. Now, the other part of Hotjar that I like to share with you is the ability to view session recordings. So session recording allows you to actually watch what's happening live. This is very helpful for optimization because it allows you to see where your ticket buyers are spending most of their time. So you can literally see where they're clicking, what they're reading, and how they're scrolling across the page. And this can help you optimize the ticket experience and hence generate more sales. And the best part is Hotjar has a free plan. So tool number 2 is Microsoft Clarity. They also have a free option, and if you don't want to pay for Hotjar, Microsoft Clarity is insanely good for being free. It has session replays, it has scroll depth, click behaviors, same idea, different tool. Now, tool number 3 is Google Analytics or GA4. Analytics tell you what happened, heat map tells you why. In GA4, you should be tracking ticket page views, bounce rate, checkout start, purchases, session duration, abandoned carts. And if you're not tracking the full funnel, you're guessing. And without the ability to see where people hesitate, you can't fix it. All right, so let's talk tracking and attribution. And this is very important. And this part is huge for getting ticket sales. A lot of conversion problems are actually tracking problems. If your tracking is broken, your ads get more expensive, optimizations get worse, and the decisions get harder. For example, on Meta, you need the Facebook pixel and the conversion API on your site. The pixel tracks browser activity, and CAPI sends data directly from your server to your platform. And you need both for accurate attribution. Same with Google Ads and GA4 events. If you don't know what's working, you can't scale it. All right, so another important part of selling tickets is the platform. This is something that people don't talk about enough, but it matters way more than people realize. Not all ticket platforms are equal. A lot of platforms make it easy to sell tickets, but very hard to actually market the event properly. And that's where problems start. Because if your platform doesn't allow you to set up proper tracking, you're basically flying blind and wasting a lot of money. You might think your ads aren't working. You might think your conversion rates is very low, but in reality, your platform just isn't giving you the ad data that your account needs. And essentially, you are wasting a lot of money if you cannot properly track. Something that helps with this is using UTM parameters in your links. Here's an example of what that looks like. It's the letters and numbers after your main URL. You see these everywhere. So at a minimum, your platform should let you set up your Metapixel conversion API, Google Analytics, conversion tracking, and it should have a full thank you page access where you can add custom events. If you can't do these things, your marketing will always underperform. And here's why this is important, because your ad platforms learn from data. If they can't see who's viewing the tickets, who's checking out, who's purchasing the tickets, then you're not going to be able to optimize for more. So that leads to higher conversion costs, worse targeting, weaker attributions, and bad decision making, such as turning off an ad that brought in sales all because you didn't see any sales generated inside of the platform. And for all you media buyers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you cannot see this data, people will start changing budgets, they'll start changing creatives, they'll start changing their strategies when the real issue is the platform. So when you are choosing a platform, don't choose it because of branding or accessibility, like easeability. Make sure you're choosing it because it gives you control, not convenience. So basically you want control over tracking, over the event attributions, over optimization. Make sure the platform isn't the bottleneck. All right, so let's zoom out for a second. If you're running an event or planning to run more events like them, this all compounds. So every event will give you more data, more proof, more content, better conversions, which makes the next event easier to sell. So better messaging equals higher conversions. Higher conversions equals better ad performance. Better performance equals lower cost, and lower cost equals more scale. And then it all feeds back into itself. So if this video helped, there's more where this came from. I break down event marketing, ticket conversions, paid ads, tracking, and growth systems right here on this channel. So subscribe if you want to get better at this stuff. And if you ever at a point where you need help with events, ads, conversion setups, you'll find everything that you need to get in touch with me inside of the description. All right, now there's going to be another video that pop up right here, and I'll see you in that video.